Yeah. Right. Maybe we just sit on boats.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
There was a rose Lima.
Oh, is that you?
Let's go, let's go. Come on.
Sorry.
I love when
All right, let's go. Let's find our seats. Be comfortable.
Come on. Oh, she can't. Come
All right, good morning, everybody. How we doing? Good morning. Good morning. How are we doing?
Fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So, Kim, how many did we have today? Remind me.
27 on the list. We confirmed we got more people that showed.
Okay. Stand up if you have a guest today. And stand if you have more than one. More than two. Great. All right. So stand up if you were in the field this week telling the story of our company. Dakota, where you at? Stand up. There you go. Good job. Now remain standing if that led to a next step of family help or new business partner. Great.
Actually, we did a Zoom, which we set up for FNA on Monday.
Great.
And then also made a couple of new contacts that'll translate to appointments, initial.
Awesome.
Verifications.
Sweet. Awesome. Great. So Pueblo's making some moves down there. Good job, Heather. And Ann got a new business partner. Dakota should stay standing too. So cool thing about Dakota, he actually invited, 8 people to Parker this week. 3 of them showed up, and then we AMA'd one of them literally Wednesday night. So Ben, welcome. That's his new business partner.
We're at Parker Wednesday. We're now part of our team here in Colorado Springs, Jordan and Lynn.
Oh, everyone was there. Great, awesome. Costa Rica trip, closing out at the end of the month. Get your points in. 1,500 and 30,000, right? 15,000, 30,000, I want. And then St. Martin's is 5 new business partners and 30,000 points. So get that done.
35,000.
Yeah, whatever they said. Big event in June still going on. That was put out yesterday, so get your tickets. $195 now. At the 24th, they'll jump up to $245. So make sure you guys get all those tickets in and just go. If you don't know why you should go, talk to your trainer. But you should go. Okay. Licenses, yeah, I forgot about that. Who scheduled their exam or signed up for their material? Jared, yeah, I got my license.
Stay standing, Jared, because he also got his license.
Yeah. You guys both got your licenses? Mark, Rachel?
Yeah, I'll take over. So, hey, you know what? That's a big deal. So thank you, Dylan, for your energy. So Tag and Jared are brand new on the team in Pueblo under the great leadership of Miss Heather Strobel. And literally, you guys, I know Jared, I met you for the first time like a week and a half ago. Tag, I've never met you yet. This is the first time I met you.
Right.
And literally within 2 weeks, both these guys have gotten their licenses, right? So that's great because you're trying to beat Heather's goal or her, she set a bar very high of 9 days so you can get her life and health license. So really, really excited to have you guys on the team and what we can do down there in Pueblo. So quite frankly, I know, you guys are fairly new, but we're counting on you to help us get Pueblo up and running, right? Can we count on you to do that?
Absolutely.
Families need help down there, so we're really excited about that. Really excited about that. Give these guys a hand. Great job. Great job. Any other new licenses that we didn't? I know we kind of flew through that, but any other new licenses that we didn't recognize? I want to make sure we're recognizing licensing. That's a big deal. Okay, but the way you value all the hard work that you put into it is now you got to go make money with it, right? Go make money with it. So it's getting a license is great, making money is even better. That means we're helping families. So hey, I want to give just a quick update on the office building. We are really, really excited. As you guys can see, it's coming together. If you've been over to the office, it's really, really coming together. They're already starting to do the flooring in the big space. If you've been over there in that big open space, if you ripped out every wall in here, maybe besides this wall, but literally, maybe if you ripped out that whole office, all the bathrooms, this office over here, and probably even into the kitchen, all that, that space is that big for that. So what we're gonna do, just kind of heads up on this. So phase one, by the end of, hopefully, fingers crossed, with big projects, things can push off. But by the end of the month, we should be moving into that space. That suite 200 should be completely done, okay, where the main training room is. We're going to be, right now there's a mortgage company across the hall in suite, whatever that is, right, suite 201 or 2, is it 202? In suite 202, that mortgage company is going to be moving out mid to end of April. So in the interim, we'll have that one big training space where our main meetings will run, okay? Guests will come up into the office, and when you invite guests, essentially the check-in is going to be in that conference room. Are you guys familiar? If you've been up to our office, you know where the conference room is, right? So guests are going to check in that conference room, and then the runners, remember how we used to have runners at the old office? The runners will run the guests from the conference room into the big training area. In the suite that will be ready by the end of this month, we're going to have about 7 offices or so in there. We still have 3 offices down there. I know Sally, Melanie, and Daniel are taking up through those offices down there. But if you do want an office, whether it be in the new suite or in the one that's going to be coming up in April/May, be letting us know that, because those are going to probably go pretty quickly. So we've got a total of about 15 to 16 offices between those 2 suites. But it's going to accommodate our growth. I think it looks top notch. Wait till because the flooring and dipping carpet's all going to be hardwood. It's going to be a great place to bring your guests. It's going to be top notch. Rachel and I were in the room there the other day, looking at kind of where we were going to put our technology. We're going to be getting some big LED TV screens up in the room for training, and it's going to be awesome. We're really excited about it. So I just want to encourage you guys. Thanks for your patience through it. I know it's been a challenge, of working remotely and working wherever you can in this office, and we're so thankful to have access to this office. But bouncing around between that office, this office, Tony and Jimmy's office, all these different things going on. I know it's been a hassle, but it will be worth it. Just let me encourage you, it will be worth it when it's all done, because it's going to be a first-rate place to grow our business once we're in there. So any questions for me on as far as the office stuff goes that I can try to answer as much as possible? Any questions for me on that? No? We're also going through an upgrading lighting, so all of our lighting is going to be LED lighting, so it's going to be just a really, 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 really nice space. We're putting a boatload of money into it to make it a first class place. So with that, Rich, is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, I'm just really excited. And if you guys go by there, or if you want to come by there, I mean, there's usually always somebody there, but just go through and walk through and just picture yourself being there and inviting guests there and having an office there, and what your business is going to look like when you get there, and the things that you can do. I mean, it's just unbelievable, and it's just going to be an amazing place. It's bright, clean, updated. There's space. It's multifunctional. We kept in mind spending time with you guys, with the team, like Super Bowl Sundays, football days, family weekends, dinners, that kind of thing. One of the reasons that we did hard surface in the big open area that also includes a kitchen area as well. So yeah, it's just going to be amazing. And so go by there, and allow yourself to visualize and sell yourself that dream. Because it's going to be a brand new, fresh, huge start, and I know we're going to blow the doors off that place as soon as we get in there.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. We put all the touches and finishing things in there, just with thought of you guys. What would the team like? how do you think the team would feel? How would they feel bringing guests here and representing this company? And so we're going to make it. There's still a few extra special things that we were talking about doing too that haven't been done yet. So we're just going to continue to make it the best of the best, and excited to get in there with all of you guys and go together. So excited.
Absolutely, yeah. And of course, one of the people that gave me vision for buying my own building was Heather Strobel here, right? As possible. Heather really for me. So that's awesome. So hey guys, we get to bring up a couple trainers today. I'm not sure who's going first. Who's going first? Yeah, all right, awesome. So one of the things that we love doing is integrating our associates, senior associates, and marketing directors into the training environment. And really, if we're turning over, I just want you to know this: if we pick you to do training and literally speak to our team, we're essentially entrusting you with our kids, so to speak, right? We're entrusting you to train, but we're not going to have you train unless you're doing the things that you need to do, doing the things in the right way. And so if you want to be a trainer, if you want to step up, then we expect you to step up, right? And operating your business. And both these people have done that to a great extent. So I'm going to edify and bring up Mandy here in just a second. I know I need to hit a pause button because I need to, if you're here for orientation. So I think we've got, is it Lynn? Yeah, Lynn. And there's one or two other people you'll be back with. Okay, so we got it, Kim? All right, awesome. Okay, so Mandy is going to be the first trainer today. Mandy Shantansabad, of course, is Day Chai's better half, right? Day Chai's awesome. I love Day Chai. But Mandy, I'll tell you, she is a force to be reckoned with. And it's really cool to see in this couple. You always say opposites attract, right? Like Day Chai is the epitome. I think I looked up to Day Chai mostly. You get out the world falling apart, and Day Chai is like, hey, just another day. It's like, dude, you just got like all this. Like I've seen them go through some really challenging things, and like for me, even that's an inspiration to me. It's like he's got a great attitude in the face of the storm. But Mandy is one that she knows how to hold people accountable, how to talk to people directly. Like, give me, it's either yes or no, not a maybe, right? I'd rather have a fast no than a slow maybe, and that's when I think of Mandy. That's it. So she's the power behind that power couple. And so if you please give it up for Mandy Shantan.
That's why I got to marry someone opposite, because he has to keep me together. All right, so I'm going to talk about starting agents and what it takes and what we expect for starting agents and what we ask of you. As a starting agent, I'm just going to go through because I can go a little rogue. So attending one or two of the weekly trainings, we know that when we start. We ask that in the second step in the AMA. That's all we ask. And the reason is we give you a positive, focused environment you need to get through your JOB. And I promise you need that. That's when I started, I think that was one of the most important things. There's many a times I stood on the ledge and was like, I don't think I have it. I don't think I can do this. I'm going to jump. And every time I came to a meeting, I was like, oh, whew. Reel me back in. I need that. You need that because there's so many things you're going to hear on the outside that are going to make you doubt the decision you've made. So really, don't forget what you decided to work with this firm, and that is what I really truly believe the trainings are about: teaching you what you need to know, and also to keep you focused. And it's what I need all the time still. You will second guess yourself, like I said, outside of the goals, because most people haven't achieved the goals they set out to accomplish, or have never even set it a goal ever in their life. So it's really scary to think about what you could achieve here and possibilities of it. Some people are afraid of failure. I'm afraid of the opposite side of that. I'm afraid of what I could achieve. And that's scary to me, and I don't know why, because maybe I'm more powerful than I think I am. And I think that's a lot of you. You don't know what you have inside until you face the mirror with it. That one can be scary to look at in the mirror. In training is invaluable to your success here. To stay focused and to learn what you need to know to be successful in this company. So this is so again, I want you to think about why you all decided to partner with this firm anytime you don't, sorry, I didn't start it again. While you're here, think of what you can do for your family first, and then really the people you can touch. Being a Christian woman, going to church and doing my studies every day, I have a dual life. I feel like sometimes I feel like, who are the people I can bring to God? And then I also feel like here, I'm like, who are the people I can save for their families? Who, if I didn't talk to that person, when you're in line, you're prospecting, and you think about, and you have that feeling inside of you, like, I should go talk to that person. You don't, because the fear of yourself, what people are going to think about you, takes that away from you. That's that small moment of time maybe God was speaking to you, like, no, you need you. They may need you. And if you don't, they would never get the help they need. So I feel like that's really important for what you do, and that's why trainings once or twice a week come here. That's all we ask of you, at least that first part, do that. So get licensed. Congratulations, you two got licensed. It's a huge step. A lot of people wait to do that. It should take more than 14 days to do that. And I think anyone, a little sacrifice of what do we do? My past life, I used to come home and watch my favorite show. What a great waste of time. How many years have I wasted on freaking TV? And I feel like the powers that be want us to do that. They want us to waste our lives slowly, sitting on a couch, being comfortable. We think we're being comfortable, but we're just really being programmed to think we are, when really we could be changing our lives just a little time. Just let the TV go for a little while, get your license, and congratulations for doing that. So if you haven't done it yet, just make that small. It's really a small sacrifice to change your life, to get your license. So we want you to make money here. So that's really why we're not gaining anything. By you getting your license it's more for you. I feel like in the future we want you to make money. We're not trying to get your anyway. So I'm gonna go off. I gotta stick to this. We want you to make money. You remember, as a trainer, all we ask is to go to training 1 to 2 times a week. Get licensed. We do the rest for you. That's all we ask. So when I first started, I looked at the whole business as a whole. It's kind of like skiing and you see the whole mountain. Don't look at the whole mountain. Just look at what's in front of you. Just do the meetings, get your license. We do the rest. We hold your hand through the rest. It's like a baby. Who are parents in here? So babies. I know Mark said it. I know Rachel said it. I know you are babies at first. So first, as like a parent, you're going to feed your baby. We're going to feed you. And then we're going to teach you to feed yourself. And then you're going to be doing it on your own. And then you're going to have your own babies. And then you're going to do that for your, it's that simple. And don't try to take the whole world on at first, because that's what I did in my head. I was like, oh, I need to know all these things. How am I going to learn these so fast? How am I going to be Rachel? How am I going to be a Mark? How am I, but just take a step back, breathe, and just ask. Do what we ask you to do, because we've all been there. Yeah. So, yeah, I just, and then all we ask is just stick to your commitments. This isn't a club you joined. This is not a JOB. This is a career. This is an amazing career with an amazing opportunity to help so many people and your own families as well. So just stick to your commitments for yourself, for your family, and for us too, because it's a partnership, and we're going to do our best to make it work for you, and I think that's fair to say for your trainers as well. This environment is a very non-judgmental place where everyone is learning something new or has been there themselves. So when you're new, don't be afraid to ask anybody, even if it's can be a little personal. Struggling with jumping, and leaving, don't ask. Tell somebody that you're struggling, and then they can find the right words for you to encourage you to stick around and to just put your head down and do the work. So when I started, I had to achieve little goals every day. So we were new parents, and I committed myself to a certain amount of points every day. I didn't have any confidence in it at first. My first phone call I made with Date Chai, you're gonna make mistakes, and I called and I gave the person their phone number, and I hung up and I said, I have to call back. And Date Chai says, no, they won't. I'm like, how do you know? He's like, you gave them their phone number. And I'm like, okay, well. And so I was a complete mess at first, and just know that you're gonna feel like you're gonna trip and fall on your face. Well, don't let that discourage you, just keep doing it. And all those little goals you make, and just stick to it. And your confidence will build. And then when I did my first lease, I was like, wow, this is so easy. And then you do your FNA or your financial needs analysis or something, your confidence will grow, I promise you. So little goals, just be proud of all your little goals and every little step you make, because it makes a big difference through this journey. So please don't quit before you have any your toes in the water. You never get a chance to know the greatness that is inside of you. And that's what saddens me the most when I see people. When we when we partner with somebody and they go to the VPN and they go in there and they see the vision. And then they go to the rest of the outside world and they let that world feed them all the negativity. That really makes me really sad, because I think like, oh man, their life could have been so different. And they leave before they even give it a chance. And that just don't do it. Like I said, just reach out. Most people go back to their comfort zone or what's normal to them, because people just don't know that there's something greater out there. And I have a project for everybody, because this is where I struggled as a new person. I think it's extremely important, and I put it on the back burner way too long. If people that have been here for a while haven't done it, just do it. Go ahead and make your vision board. Dream again. You need to dream again. Deja and I have we've had 3 accidents in the past 2 years, and we tried to sell a home and we hadn't sold it, and we're trying to sell it again, and just, sickness and cancers and families, and, things happen in our life too, but sometimes we have to take a seat back and dream again, get that vision board back out, and get on the internet and look at things that are way you think are out of reach, but just do it. Get that stirring inside of you. And then affirmations. Affirmations have changed everything for me. I started reading my affirmations in just probably the last 6 months, in the morning and at night. And then when we had the challenge of going out to talk to 20 people a day, I reached 15 was my most, but I did it. And I did it because my affirmations every day gave me that confidence that I could do it. And it's huge. That was a big deal. It was a big transformation, because I thought, oh, they're just words. But what the mind will do is an amazing thing. So do your affirmations. And if you need help with affirmations, just ask other people that have done their affirmations. I had a roadblock of like, well, what are affirmations? Deshaun does his different than me. He does more of his of a story. I like to just read mine, kind of put words in my head. And then anti-vision board. Some people work better with an anti-vision board. Does anyone know what an anti-vision board is? So any job you had in the past. So I used to do this for an anti-vision board. I would think about all the places I used to work. I used to work at Wendy's. I used to work in retail. All these bosses I had, how I felt when I drove to work in the morning, how I felt when I thought I had a day off and someone would call me and say, I'm not coming to work and I have to go, all those little things that are joy kills in your life, the J-O-B. Sometimes those are great to have in life too. And when I'm having really down days of like, I kind of just want to stay home, do the wrong thing, don't want to do anything, so I have those days, I just want to be comfortable and stay my comfort zone of being mom. I think about, could you imagine if I had to go and listen to another boss all day long telling me what to do, taking out their guard, just whatever that means to you. I had an ex-military boss when I worked in a laser skin rejuvenation, and I did everything. I cleaned the toilet, I dumped the garbages, and I think about all those things, and it's like, I'm better than that. I deserve more than that. So an anti-vision board, I think, is kind of a cool idea too. Sometimes more inspiring. So, do you have any questions for me? Like really just any questions that would, that you struggle with? I've probably felt that way or done that. Might answer any questions for anybody new or been around for a while. Yes.
What's your most powerful affirmation that you say? Because you said affirmations changed my life and our perspective. So for you, and maybe there's 2 or 3,
Right.
but what's like to give people, I think it's, if something's new to people, like for me, if something's new to me, something go, oh, here's what I do. I learn it best if somebody goes, here's how I apply it. Like, here's literally what I say. I might even steal
I
that
can
and go,
get it out.
I want to
Do you
adopt
want me
it. Well, I mean, if you don't mind sharing, if you don't have to share ones that are super personal, if you don't want, but I mean, ones that you feel are, if you say that changed your life, go ahead and grab it.
I have it right here.
Yeah,
I
then,
carry it around.
share with the team maybe 1 or 2 that really has made a difference.
No, I carry it around because I have moments when I'm doing phone calls and I just had someone really awful to me, trying to break my spirit, and I just go back and I read it. And it's like, "Ooh." You know, some people are out to just ruin people's days. I truly believe that. There's quite a few of them. So what I have, I say I do all things in Christ is my first thing. I have an amazing marriage, which I do, but I think y'all forget that we are with our best friends sometimes. I'm driven. I have abundance of energy because I get really drained with a 3-year-old. So I have to convince myself sometimes. I'm the best recruiter. I retain information clearly and quickly because I've always beat myself up. I think that's a pretty powerful one for me because I've always thought that I was slow on the uptick of information. Even though I'm smart, I'm more of a hands-on person. So it takes me a lot more than once to sometimes hear things, way I think I heard. I have a great memory. It's one of my other struggles. I am a great mother. I am patient. I love making phone calls. I love my job. I have a positive attitude. I should say I love my career. I'm on there, so I should correct that. I have a positive attitude every day. I radiate success. I think that one's a powerful one for me because when I would go out prospecting, I radiate success. I would repeat to myself, and I would also stand in the mirror sometimes and do what Dr. Holt would do and stand in 2 minutes and to say, I radiate success, or I have unshakable confidence. I have unshakable confidence. And I would say it louder and I would say it different ways. And that really made a big difference because I would go out and people were almost drawn to me. It's amazing what you can do just putting that energy out there. My career brings me financial abundance. My career gives me more time with family. My positive company attitude brings me new opportunities. I'm going to win the day because for me that's a big one because for many years I just did what my job required me to do, and I never really felt like I was winning my day. If I can win something all day long, whether even if it's mom day, I'm like, did I win my day today? I ask that every day, and I think that's an important thing to do. Especially when you're first starting out, I think because there's so many things you don't know, and you feel like, am I really even making a difference in this career I've chosen? And so I think asking yourself, what did you win today, is good because you kind of put things in perspective and open yourself up for what you don't know. I think that's a good deal. Let's see. I will get certified qualified validated. That was when we had the certified qualified validated by Vegas. I have the biggest face shop in the office. I'm extremely blessed. I am present in every moment. I struggle with that one. So that one's a powerful one for me. No sickness can touch me. I do not fear because Christ is with me. I share my life with my soulmate, or divinely matched. I want to make 5,000 a month by the time Vegas convention. So I read this in a book. This is really important. Is for new people. I wish I had done this in the beginning because this has been changing. I think our business. I'm trying to remember what book it was. Yes, Think and Grow. Think and Grow Rich. Yes. So what he asks to do it and do it. So put a time, a date, what you want to achieve in that time, a certain time. So the Vegas convention starts on the 23rd. So I put that, and then what will it take to make that goal come to fruition? So I have to do 14,500 points a month. 6 families helped a month, so you gotta really break it down, 20 points a week at least. 20 appointments a week, 75 points a day, which really should be 100 probably. Make 5,000 a month by June 23rd, and then you repeat it. So I think you've got to really break that down. I didn't know how to do that at first, and I put that on the back burner for a long time, but I think that should be really important assignment you need to do is just break down what you need to do for the goal. Yeah, and what you're willing to give up. Yeah, I did do that. So mine's time, just my personal time to just decompress. Because I do things for a year and then I'm a mom and then, sometimes you just have time for it up. Anyway, so I'm really sacrificing a lot. And then Colossians, I have Colossians 3:14, above all things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. And do all in the name of the Lord Jesus and thanks to God. And I put that because when I first started, I was like, ooh, I get a really nice car. I want a new home. It was really like self-indulgent things, which I think is fine. But what I realized is the longer you're here and the more work you put in is you will grow internally as a human being. And now what's really important to me, and that's why this is so important, do all in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, because I'm like, okay, selfishness doesn't work in this industry. It just doesn't. And you have to have a giving heart. And it took me a while to be like, oh, what does that mean? Like, I want. What does it mean to be a giving heart? So once you get team members, like we have Nathaniel, we want Nathaniel's success more than ours now. And that is the beautiful thing about sticking with it and growing is like now I'm completely content as to what we have. We have our health, I have my family, we have a roof overhead that I love, and that's what's important. But now I'm like, I'm so excited for Nathaniel to like leave his job. And that's where the shift has changed. And that will happen the longer you're with this company. It was like a light bulb moment for me. This last convention, you'll find that you'll see the speakers in a different way. Convention's really important too. I did want to say that. Because every year we went to convention, we grew as a company, and we grew as human beings. And because there's some people that reach you and some people that don't. But I feel like I grow as a person through this company. And so anyway, that's be your commitments and have your feelings. That's a huge one too. Be your commitments and have your feelings. That it's not about them. So yep. I mean that's really all any other questions?
Awesome. Man, great job. I want to make some comments about you can say that if you want, but I want to make some comments before we get Joe up here. You can tell who the inspiration of her life is right now. But one of the things that I know is some of you may have grabbed is that affirmations are things that you're telling yourself that you don't yet believe, right? That you want to believe, right? That you want to improve. So if I said if you do something well, like you go, well, I drive my car really well. I'm the best driver on the road. Like that wouldn't be an affirmation that would motivate me, right? Okay, but I'm already a good driver, and I don't need that affirmation. So I just want to point that out. If there's something that you see about yourself that maybe you didn't even have the guts to raise your hand about to ask Mandy about, but go, spend some time with her. Go, hey, because she was vulnerable to me. I appreciate that, and sharing like, hey, here's what I'm dealing with, or here's what I've struggled with, or here's what I've not been the best at. And so her affirmations, it's almost like an antivenom. If you get bit by a snake, what do they say? You got to use the antivenom. So the antivenom is the affirmation. If you're bit by the snake of your lack of belief, if you're bit by the snake of somebody that's negative in your life, if you're bit by the snake of your own, what you're thinking about in your own head, like you don't believe as much as you need to believe, what's the antivenom? It could be the Word of God, it could be the Bible, it could be a scripture, it could be just something you read to yourself that's exactly the opposite. So if you go, I'm fearful of talking to people, man, I love connecting and talking with people. That would be a good example, right? Man, I dread making phone calls. I love making phone calls. Right? And you go, oh, that's kind of weird. Here's the thing that I want to challenge all of you before I bring Joe up, is the average and ordinary people, anytime you do something that's different than what they do, what will come up in the back of your mind is, oh, that's kind of weird. That's kind of odd. You stand in the mirror and do this, really? right? Some of you maybe catch yourself in that thought. Here's the deal. Anybody who's ever achieved at the highest levels are doing things that aren't necessarily out in the public. Like, it'd be where I go, I started like prospecting like this, I would be like, that's a little bit weird. But if I'm doing something like this to build myself up before I go out, right? It's almost like a police officer putting on his bulletproof vest before he goes out. You usually don't see him putting it on when he's out in the field. It's before. He's putting on his protection beforehand. So that protection for you beforehand is the affirmations, right? And willing to do the things that most people aren't willing to do to have the life that most people never be able to offer their families. That's one of my affirmations, right? And so I'm willing to do those things. And so if you catch yourself going, oh, that's kind of odd, I don't see myself doing that, you need to catch yourself in that. You need to take that thought captive and go, no, that's not going to serve me. Because if Mandy has grown and they've developed and they're doing bigger things than I'm doing, then I need to be willing to do the things that she's done so I can get where she's at and beyond where she's at. And so anyway, Mandy, thank you so much for your preparation. You're awesome. All right, our next speaker is Joe Lima. Joe's going to come up. And Joe actually is an important part of Daniel's team. Joe served 20 plus years in the military, so obviously I'm thankful for his service. And I think he's going to be talking a little bit about the vision boards. I know, right? I know Mandy hit on vision board stuff a little bit. I love the anti-vision board. I love that. Get the picture of the guy who thinks the biggest jerk in your life. Look on your vision board and go, I'm going to prove you wrong. You can do that. I love that. So anyway, give it up for Joe Lima.
How's everybody doing today? Right. Again, if you don't know me, my name is Joe Lima, and I try to help everybody as a team here. And I've been here for about a little over 2 years now. So again, I'm always available for talking, help, anything you ever need. But I do want to talk about dreams today because I don't know about you, but me, I have a hard time dreaming. I don't know why I shouldn't, but I do sometimes. And I think a lot of times it's because life gets in the way, doesn't it? You got so many things going on. You got work, you got all these things, you got family, everybody's grabbing at you, and you really don't have time to dream sometimes. So what I want to do today is I want to go through a little dream map. Now, I got this from John C. Maxwell. Does everybody know John C. Maxwell? Great writer. If you don't know his books, you should get familiar with them. This is part of Put Your Dream to the Test. This is actually an interactive companion to that book. And it's called My Dream Map. Okay, it's called My Dream Map. So if you want to look for that in the bookstore, that'd be great as well. I'm going to go through an overview. I can't go through all the questions because I would be here for probably a day. But the purpose of this training that I'm doing today is designed to help you discover and define your dreams. Okay, discover and define your dreams today. So what we're going to do first of all.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the title of the book? Because I am familiar with this book so that they're maybe picking up that.
Okay, I talk fast too, I'm sorry. But Put Your Dream to the Test is the book by John C. Maxwell. This portion here is an interactive companion to that book, and it's called My Dream Map. Okay, if I go too fast, slow me down. I used to teach in the military. I actually taught for 20 years. But I taught all the hazardous materials and all the dangerous stuff to protect people. So I probably taught thousands and thousands of people, but I don't know why I always talk fast. The first thing I want you to do, though, is everybody needs to have some notes. If you don't bring a notebook with you to this training, start doing it in the future. It's really important to write things down so you can look back at it and get those references. But it also is good because when you're writing, I think you absorb the information better than if you're just watching or listening. So if you write things down, you have a chance to absorb the information a lot better. So in the future, if you don't have notebooks, pens, please bring them. It does help for our general training. Thank you, Sally. Okay, what I want you to do, we're going to start this out. We're going to do a little dream map for today. And all I want you to do, first of all, is I want you to write one thing on your piece of paper that you've dreamed about that you still want to do. Now, it's got to be something that's logical, that's doable, of course. I can write up here. Here's my dream, okay? I don't want to use the permanent marker. I can go up here and say professional baseball player. That's my dream. Okay? You think I'm gonna achieve that dream? I'm 57 years old. I've never played hardball. But I'm gonna be a professional baseball player before I die. I guarantee it. Okay? So put something down there that you know that you can.
So that's an example of a non-realistic goal then.
That is, yes, a non-realistic dream or a dream. What's a dream? A dream is basically something that you don't act on, but you think about a lot, right? It's like a cloud. Floats by, and then you see it the next day, and the cloud floats by. Wow, you know? But when a dream starts becoming reality, actually it starts becoming a goal because you actually work toward a dream. A goal is something you work toward, right? So we want to find a dream that we can work toward, okay? So I'm not going to be a professional baseball player, sorry. I got hit in the face once with a baseball. That's why I got this scar above my lip here. I got hit with a softball on line drive, so I actually quit softball after that.
Hey, Joe, while everybody's writing down their realistic goal, I truly want you to do this. Can you put up one that you go, this is
I got
my
one.
dream?
Yeah, but I want you to write yours first because I don't want you to write mine down. So I want you to write a dream that you have. If it was when you were a little kid, you know, you wanted to be a teacher like my son, but he doesn't like homework, he doesn't like school. I don't know how he's going to be a teacher, but anyways, so make it realistic. And we're going to go through 10 questions to test that dream, okay? Has everybody wrote down their dream? Okay, I'll write mine down. Now that you wrote yours down, because I don't want you to copy me. Millionaire. Is that how you spell it? Millionaire? Okay. I want to be a millionaire before I die.
All right.
And it's very possible. It is very possible. Now we have probably a couple of millionaires in the room right now, but that's my goal, is to be a millionaire. And when I go through these questions, look at mine and look at yours and see if it's possible with the dream test here, okay? See if it'll work, okay? So it says here, and we've already done this, first thing I would like everyone to do is to find an achievable dream and write it in your notes, and then we will put it to the test, and we're going to do a dream test on it. This is part of the dream map, okay? And you can do this for all your dreams, not just today, but you can keep that and say, hey, I want to do this. Let me go ahead and do that dream test again and see if it's even possible, okay? The first question, this is going to be a question you have to ask yourself, is the ownership question. The ownership question. Write that down, the ownership question. And what goes along with that ownership question? Is my dream really my dream? That's part of the ownership question. Is my dream really is my dream really my dream? Give you a good example. When you were a kid, your parent probably wanted you to be something that maybe that wasn't your dream, right? Okay. I was supposed to be an astronaut. No, I wasn't supposed to be an astronaut. But your parent has dreams for you too, don't they? So is your dream or is it somebody else's dream? That's a good question. Okay? So we're not going to put anything in there because if I get a chance to do this, I can give you, there's actually questions to determine that, if your dream is your dream. And maybe in the future we can do this, but I'm going to do the overview today, okay? Number 2, the clarity question. The clarity question. Do I clearly see my dream? Do you clearly see your dream? Do you envision it? Now, we talked earlier, Mandy does, and she was talking about starting ages, but that actually goes to everyone, that information she put out. Actually, I wrote on it, that's me, that's me, that's me. So, do you clearly see your dream? Do you have a vision board? I have a vision board. It's when I first started, I need to change it. It's already changed. My dreams change, obviously. Your dreams change over time, don't they? Some dreams go away, some dreams come up. So the clarity question, do I clearly see my dream? So think about that for the information that you wrote. Your original dream you wrote down there. Number 3, the reality question. The reality. Here's a good one. Like I said, baseball player before. Am I depending on factors within my control to achieve my dream? Am I depending on factors within my control to achieve my dream? In other words, can I make my dream come true? Or do I have to depend on somebody else for something? Okay? Now with mine, millionaire. Can I depend on somebody else to be a millionaire?
No.
Yeah, well, yes, I can. What if my parents were rich and I got an inheritance? I could depend on my parents to make a lot of money so I could be a millionaire someday. Okay? So I got to push them to make money so that I can be a millionaire. Yeah. So though my mom retired from Arby's, I don't know if she's going to really do that for me or not. But my dad's already passed, unfortunately. So, but I mean, it's just not, are you depending on the factors within your control to achieve your dreams? Are you depending on other people? A good example in this business as well. A lot of us have spouses and significant others. Do we depend on them to support us? I wanted to. I've been trying to do that for a while, but I realized it ain't going to happen sometimes. So sometimes you're on your own, and you got to really do stuff. And it's hard for me. It's very hard for me, okay? Because, again, life gets in the way, okay? So the reality question. The 4th question, which I think I have plenty of this, the passion question. The passion question. Gotta have passion in your dream, right? Does my dream compel me to follow it? Does my dream compel me to follow it? If you have a dream and you're not compelled by it, what is it really? Is it a dream? Yeah, maybe a wish, maybe just an idea. It's not a real dream, would it be? So the passion question is, does my dream compel me to follow it? That compels me. But as we go through these questions here, I'm going to tell you why. It's not about me. You'll see that. Okay. Number 5, the pathway question. The pathway question. Do I have a strategy to reach my dreams? Do I have a strategy to reach my dreams? Good question. If I want to be a millionaire, I got to have a strategy, right? In other words, I got to make money somewhere. And it doesn't have to be actually cash money. It could be assets, right? And that's what I'm thinking about with my millionaire here. Assets as well. Okay, it could be mutual funds, it could be house property, it can be vehicles, I don't know. Depends on what I wanted to do. Okay, but you have a pathway. Do I have a strategy to reach my dreams? And I'll tell you right now, I do have a strategy. I do have a strategy to be a millionaire. I do.
Is WFG part of that, Joe?
Yes, it is. Actually, WG's already put me on the path, obviously just by starting here, but also by the help they've given me through my FNA. So, yeah, I'm almost there. I'll tell you, I'm very close, believe it or not. I've done stuff before it, WFG, but in the same sense, WFG has straightened me out a little bit and got me into a better path. Now, I need to do more in the business side, I'll admit, but on the FNA side, I think I'm doing pretty darn good through my investments and stuff of that nature. So I still need to do a lot of work. So the pathway question. Number 6, the people question. I want this all to be interactive. That's why I wanted you guys to just do something I think would be fun today. So, have I included the people I need to realize my dream? Have I included the people I need to realize my dream? Now, it's not saying, do I depend on those people? It's, have I included those people? In other words, they're part of your dreams, right? Your family, your friends. So have I included the people I need to realize my dream? And believe it or not, if I can do this, the people I include are you too, okay? I give back a lot. I love giving back. I know there's a lot of people in here that want to give back, but they may not be able to. I know there's people that still give back even when they may not be able to. So, have I included the people I need to realize my dream, which is important as part of the people question. Here's the hard one, number 7. The cost question. That's my hardest part.
What?
The cost. The cost question. Yeah, I'm from a different town.
That's spelled Q-U-O-S-T, right?
Cost question. Yeah, that's how you say it. Where I come from, that's how you say it.
Water?
Yeah, we got plenty of water here too. Okay, but yeah, I'm from New England. One of my dreams was to get out of New England. And here I am. Okay, for the cost question, am I willing to pay the price for my dream? That I'll have to. This one, number 7, is the hardest part for me because I have bad habits. I have good habits, but I have habits. And that would be probably, and for our new people just coming up, habits are the things that really cause you to probably not succeed in things because you're always busy and, life's pulling at you still, and then you got these habits as well. So are you willing to pay the price for your dream? I got to pay a price for this. I'm not going to just, I thought my parents were going to give me money, but it didn't happen that way, okay? So it's on me. Can I tell you that I'm better off right now than my parents were at my age? Yes, I am. And I'm not bragging about it. I'm just saying I worked very hard to get where I am with the military and with my investments, with everything else. Mark's worked very hard to get where he is. Quentin's worked very hard to get where he is. Sally's worked very hard to get where she is. We all have to work hard, and that's probably the hardest thing for me to do is to work hard when you have a routine and you have people pulling at you and you've been already involved in the community and you got to figure out, what do I want to do next? Do I want to pay the price? Do I want to really get my business growing? Do I want to be a senior marketing director? Do I want to be a senior associate? You really have to work at it. It doesn't come easy.
It helps if you're working smart.
Yes, working smart and scheduling. I'm very good at scheduling. I have everything on my calendar. I tell you when I'm going to do this, when I'm going here, and I put it on. And I usually put out about a week ahead of time. So I gotta meet my dream because we're going to get to the bottom, number 10 here. This is going to tell you why. Number 8, the tenacity question. The tenacity question. And the question in there is, am I moving closer to my dream? Am I moving closer to my dream? Remember we wrote a dream up there on the top earlier. It could be an easy dream, it could be a hard dream, but are you moving closer to that dream? Are you moving closer to your dreams? And if you're not moving closer to your dreams, you got to figure out why not. Why am I not moving closer to my dreams? Is it because I don't take my dreams seriously? Or maybe I don't move closer to my dreams because I'm not putting in that paying the price for my dream. Remember I said 7? 7's the hardest, I think, out of here. So am I moving closer to my dream? Number 9, the fulfillment question. Here's a good one. This should make you happy. Fulfillment question. Does working toward my dream bring satisfaction? Does working toward my dream bring satisfaction? If you're working toward your dream and you're not being satisfied by it, you got to figure out what's going on. What's wrong? In this business, a lot of people have dreams. I think a lot of people join the business just because of their dreams, don't they? Because they're dreaming about making money, they're dreaming about helping families, they're dreaming about helping their own family, they're dreaming about making a difference in their community. There's so many things you can do with this company. So the fulfillment question, again, does working toward my dream bring satisfaction? If it doesn't bring satisfaction, you might want to change your dream, right? Or you might want to modify your dream. Here's question number 10. I'll go pretty good. Yeah. The significance question. I think 7 is the hardest, the cost question, but I think number 10 is the most important of the question. The significant question. The significance question. The significance question. Does my dream benefit others? Does it benefit? I think that's very important. If you're in WFG and this is your dream, does it benefit others? Are you benefiting others by, working toward your dreams? Are you benefiting others? Now, for me, it's family.
Can I take a picture of your thing and put it on GroupMe?
Yeah.
That way, you have all the questions right there, correct?
Yep.
And I'll put it on GroupMe for you guys.
Thank you.
I'm not done yet, though.
I know.
I still got to talk because I got about 10 minutes left.
You go, Joe.
But what I want to do now is kind of go ahead and do a wrap up of this information here, this document. Now I took this out of the book, so I had to put a little thing on there. 2009 by John C. Maxwell. I'm not trying to steal his information from the book, but these are the questions from the book. This is the chapters. There's 10 chapters, and each one of these questions has questions with it. And what they do in this dream map is you actually go 0 to 2, 0 being that you're not going forward on this question at all, and 2 is you're really doing well on that question. And you add the points up, and it tells you if you're moving toward that dream or you're not moving toward that dream. Okay, so it's very great for you on an interactive basis to go ahead and look at that, especially if you have dreams and you want to turn those into goals. We talk about goal setting all the time. Usually goals, they start out with dreams, right? You have a dream, you have a thought, and then all of a sudden you put it down on a piece of paper, and now you want to go ahead and be a senior associate by Las Vegas. Yes, Rosalie.
Is the dream map online or is it just a book?
It's a book.
Okay.
Now you can try to Google my dream map, but they're gonna still make you pay for it anyways. So if you like that stuff on Amazon or whatever those where you read books online. Yeah, well, reading online, but you can do that. But it starts with put your dreams to the test. If you put your dreams to the test first, and then you use the dream map, I think it'll work better for you. Okay.
It's at the library, probably.
Yeah. Actually, I did. Put your dreams to the test. I got that on CD at the library, and I listened to it in my Jeep every time I used to drive here for the Mozones and the BPMs. I used to go ahead and listen to that, and all day I would listen to that. I listened to it like 2 or 3 times because I don't always have time to read, but I always have time to listen.
There's a summary online too that I found while Joe was talking. Summarizes it. It's put your dreams to the test. You'll find it.
John Maxwell also does a lot of presentations of his own books on YouTube and through his leadership development programs.
Yeah.
So.
And if you don't know, again, John Maxwell, he has a lot of motivational books. When I went to the Las Vegas last year, they I don't know if anybody filled out the questionnaire afterwards. Anybody fill out the questionnaire afterwards? Am I the only one that did it? Yeah, I filled out a questionnaire after the annual Las Vegas trip that we take, the conference down there. And they said, who do you want to speak? Who do you want to be the next guest speaker? And my answers, I put 2 names down. And one of them was Billy Graham's son. Franklin Graham. Franklin Graham was one of them. And John C. Maxwell was the second one I put down for the guest speakers for this year. So, if you see them, that was me. Yeah, one of those people shows up for our guest speakers. Maybe they listen to me. Let's go ahead and go back to this here. Now, millionaire. what I put down here, or yours, whatever yours is on there, did you follow along here and see if there was any issues or concerns with what your dream was? So what you would need to do next, you'd have to modify it. You'd have to modify your dream. Like I said, I've been working on this for a while. So all these pretty much make sense to me. And when I said number 10, the significance question, this is the big one for me because it says, does my dream benefit others? Well, to tell you the truth, if I do make $1 million in assets and cash, guess what? I won't keep it. A lot of that's for my family. I plan to leave that as this is my estate. That's what I really plan to do. Okay. But what else am I going to do with that? With that dream that I have, is I'm going to give back a lot to the community too. I'm going to give back to my alumni. I went to Colorado Christian University. I'm going to give back to them if I can. If I make this money, I'm going to pay my house off, of course. Okay. And if I can't, I guarantee my wife can't. Okay. So that's going to be one other thing I'm going to do. I'm going to give to, we got American Legion in Falcon. We got a post there. We created it, I think in 2000. We don't even have a facility. We're using a school. We can't even use it this month because they closed all the schools down. So we had to cancel our membership meeting for this month because the school is closed and they won't let us use it because they're doing a big sterilization thing. Zoom for the American Legion meeting.
Yeah, why not?
You have to pay for it to do a big group like that. But yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. But anyways, just to give you an example, they don't have a facility. I'd love to contribute to that. They got a building fund. I'd love to contribute to that. I'd love to contribute to my church. We bought a facility, a church. Our church has bought a facility, and we're paying mortgage and all that. But we have a lot of problems. It's an old church, probably built in like 1900 or something. And the plumbing's going out, and the door's cracked down the middle, and we just replaced the HVAC system, cost us $6,000. That's why I want to do this, okay? Operation Christmas Child, I don't know if you ever heard of that before. It's a Samaritan's Purse program. I do that for my church, and one of the things I want to do, I've been trying to hit 100 boxes each year. The year before, I think I got 97. The year before that, I got 93. This past year, I just got 103 boxes. I was like, woohoo! So I was happy, but I want to get 200 boxes next. So if I can go ahead and have that much money, I could probably put in about 40, 50 boxes myself. They build those shoe boxes. Sort of like what Sally did with the military there. That was a great thing. Okay. So I like to give back. That's why I want to be a millionaire. And all these questions here do make it difficult for me, especially the cost question. I think that's the hardest one for me, is to get out of my own way and just do what I need to do in this business, in my life, and just push aside the people that are blocking. You know, I've lost friends since I've joined this business. I'll tell you right now. I used to be closer to a lot of my friends, but the problem is they weren't kind of encouraging me, and I wanted to do this. So I said, okay, they'll come back to me someday. Especially when you start getting educated, you start learning, you start making money, they're gonna come back. I believe they will, you know. But that's again part of dreams. Part of dreams. I don't want to cut early, but I think the bell probably will ring soon. Yeah, is there any questions? That's a good question. Any questions? Hey, come on, give me a question here.
Well, we're proud of you for learning how to say cost. I've noticed that you.
Where are you from in New England?
No. Is there any questions at all on what I was talking about? It's very important. You could start with a vision board. Start with a vision board. Last year, before the end of the year, we were talking about building our vision boards, taking pictures off the computer and pasting them on a board and put them in a circle, then put stuff in the middle. Basically, your goals right in the middle there. Okay? Yeah.
We'll give Joe a hand. Great job. Hey, what we'll do is they'll obviously ring, so we'll create a nose one for the guests who get the chairs out. We'll make sure guests get scheduled, and then I took, with both of our speakers, I took a lot of notes and had some things that just for my own things I've been listening to and reading lately, I think will add to and expound on a few of the ideas. I won't spend a lot of time, but I do want to share with you guys briefly once we're done. So what we'll do is we'll just create a mozone. You guys stretch your legs, create a mozone for the group coming out. But if you do have a guest, we'll go back and schedule them, hang around, and then we'll do a quick wrap up afterwards. Is that cool? All right, good. Thanks, guys. No, that was good. That was really good. I wrote it was. It was
Can you?
Quick question for you, real quick before I gotta go out in
First thought out. Do this. It was like, I can't picture
He's one of my favorite authors. Leadership, it's ideas. I was at a meeting, he happened to be there. And he was doing so exciting, I got him to sign a book, and he's like, I'm going to change everything. I got like 15 minutes of, like, it was like, okay, here. Try to I mean, that's everything he says. Better your. I can't. Well, I can't read. Like you have a question that he didn't rewrite the and it's called the leadership Bible. And then he talks about I put this rub my eye. Like just Yes.
I know, he likes to question. Like, I just that one.
I don't think this feels like I'm just. So my heart, and I don't think she knows that. I know. So hard here. I'm watching it right now. It's a struggle. So I wonder if there's something like.
That is exactly right.
So that's why I'm not.
I want that pretending.
Yeah, I just do that. That's what
Just spray the whole I told my I know, right?
Kevin went to college. Next Friday. Next Friday would be Well, here's what I'm saying. organized, it's just, it can't, everybody. It's such an example. Hey, this is our house, like this little, just chill out, get together, kind of thing, Friday night, or Saturday, that we have, we're gonna put you down to be there, reservations are required. All I need towards our response team. And that's right, Thursday night, hey,
Make sure that,
that's reserve, how many people have awesome things.
Good way to get it put down.
It doesn't have to be a social detail.
You get all the cards? All right, everybody grab a chair. We'll review, wrap up, grab a seat. All right, so everybody grab a seat. Hello? All right, let's go through the results here. So Z went, Z's was, I think, yes, Ryan's guest. 10 in interest level come back on, it was like the 16th at 11 a.m. All right, great. So we check our first two boxes. Great job. Awesome. Let's see, Nathan Burton. Whose guess was Nathan's guess? Okay, so Nathan Burton was a 10 in interest level. Actually come back today at 12 or 1 p.m. today. Actually, 1 p.m. today. So great job, Karina. Zachariah Hard, is that also, Zach, was that also your guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually for a business partner of mine, John. Zach's wife works with John at Lowe's.
Okay.
Zach's wife referred him to John. We interviewed him at a one-on-one on Thursday. He's coming back today at 11:30.
Okay, very good. Yeah, he was the guy that was at the office the other day. So, yeah, very good. So his preferred date and time, ASAP, as soon as possible. So he's coming back today, 10 interest level. And then Nick's guest, Nick's cousin Dominic, who's actually in the industry, is also coming back to interview today. 7 in interest level, coming back today at 1:30. And I know ZQ had did a Zoom meeting with Dom before we left to Hawaii, and then did the right thing. I planted the right seeds, but then ultimately got him into the corporate overview where he could make a bigger and better decision. So he's come back today at 1:30. So great job to Nick and Chelsea. Great job. And then last but not least, Melissa. Huh?
We also knew Dylan and his family.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, interesting. Okay. And then Melissa, who was, let's see, oh, that was Ken's guest. Melissa is coming back at on Monday at 4:30 on Monday. Great job. So Trina, let's see. Were you here? Is he here for the interview right now? Okay. So if you want to step in there, I'll just do a quick wrap up here. All right. From that office. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. So I'll leave the cards up here, guys. Make sure you grab those before you leave. But so I want to thank the trainers that trained today, and I want to just share one or two other quick ideas that came to my mind of things that over the past few weeks really apply to the things that both Joe as well as Mandy talked about. And one of the first things is this, and I heard this a while back, but I want to kind of put this in a quick summary. This I got from Ed Milet. So write this in your notes, just as kind of a summary. You can expound on it if you want.
Hard now.
Equals life easier. This marker's not very good. And really, when it comes down to this, like what Joe was talking about, like doing the hard work of goals and being focused, right? Sometimes that's hard. That's hard to do. So I'll let me finish writing this and I'll expound on this a little bit here, a little better here. Okay, so I know I just kind of summarized this, but here's what I heard this in a recording. I think it was Ed Milet. He said, if you're willing to do the hard things now, life becomes easier. If you're going to do the easy things now, life becomes harder. And so let's define what I mean by that. Like, what are the let's go to the easy things. What are the easy things now for most people? What would be an example of the easy things now for most people?
TV, potato chips.
TV, potato chips, JOB, okay. What else? Anything else that you would say? Keep doing what you're doing now, the status quo, exactly. So here's the thing, for most people, even though they go, I want to stay in my comfort zone. Well, my comfort zone's not very comfortable. Right? There's a lot of people right now that do this whole coronavirus thing, like have no options. Like companies are like Delta Airlines. I used to be in the airline industry. Like they're like cutting 40% of their flights. Do you think that's going to impact mechanics and ground workers and pilots and flight attendants, right? But a lot of people in life, they go, well, I'm just going to stick with what I'm doing. I'm going to do the easy thing now. Everybody I know is in the airline industry. Everybody I know works a job. Everybody I know trades time for dollars. You mean you're at a meeting on a Saturday morning? Yeah, I'm doing the hard things now, right? That's what I mean by that, right? You mean you get off work and you just don't go home and flip on the TV and eat potato chips? You mean you go out and go to the office and go do appointments? What? You mean you go out and prospect, you talk to people you don't know? Yeah. I remember sitting in a client appointment with a guy who is literally out of one side of his mouth telling me how much he's struggling. I'm offering him opportunity and he literally does this, he goes, but you're with me at 6:30. And I'm like, yeah? He goes, I don't want to do that now. I don't want to do that. Really? You're with me here at 6? So that's what I would have to do? I said, I make more in a month than you make all year, and you're not willing to be on an appointment at 6:30 at night? Are you serious? Like, really? Like, right? So here's the thing. What's hard now for you? Define what is the hard now? And as Joe talked about all these significant questions for you to test your goal by, are you doing the hard things now? And the hard things now, guess what? Things you don't naturally want to do, there's the definition, right? And the old adage applies. If it was easy, everybody would do it. So if you go, I'm kind of uncomfortable, you should probably do it. I don't know if I really want to do it. You should probably do that then. Those are the things you should, things that you have an easy time doing, like, I'm just going to go take a smoke break. You probably shouldn't be doing that. That's probably easy. It's going to kill you. Well, I love watching my favorite TV show. And everything in moderation. I mean, it's okay if you go, I love taking the smoke break, watching my favorite TV show. All that stuff is okay as long as you're willing to do the hard things now. And I'll tell you what, there are a lot of hard things now I did back in the 90s and the early 2000s. I look now and all the stuff that's going on in the world today and all the money that we have saved and all the great investments we have, a building that we just bought, all these things, it validates that idea that I was willing to do the hard things now, and I promise you, life becomes easier. And the people, even yourself, sometimes you're your own worst enemy, the people that know you are going, what are you doing? You're still is that thing working out for you? How much money are you making? All that crap, because they're in the easy now mode, I promise you, life will become harder. I don't know a whole lot of people, my dad included, who retired from the traditional JOB, which is what most people do, and life became easier in retirement. That's usually not most cases. And so I want to share that with you. So as it pertains to the things that Joe and Mandy challenged you with, are you doing those hard things now? And again, a quick, easy way to define that is am I only doing the things I like to do, right? And here's the thing. Here's where your business and your power will shift. When you take the things that are you define as hard, and you get great affirmations around them, like what Mandy challenged you to do today, and then those are the things that you love to do, life is unlimited. It's unlimited. And when I hear like what that guy told me over the kitchen table at night, I sat there and I felt so sorry for him. I felt so sorry for his family. This guy didn't make him a bad guy, didn't make him a jerk. I'm not saying that. Didn't make me better than him. I'm not saying that. But what I mean is, I knew he told me, I'm not willing to pay a price. I'm not willing to pay the price, right? I'm not willing to pay the price. You should, because guess what? You're going to pay a price one way or the other. It's the sacrifice. It's the sacrifice of not putting yourself in a position to allow your goals and dreams to come true, right? There's a sacrifice there. It's a sacrifice of just staying where you're at now. There's going to be a sacrifice, right? You're going to have to fight for your goals and your dreams. But the more you fight for those, choose your heart. The more you fight for those things, the stronger you become. And when things like this come up, like what everybody's freaking out about, right? It's like you're more mentally tough because you've put yourself in a position to constantly work on your mindset, okay? So I want to share that with you. Last thing I want to share with you is this idea. Actually, Christopher recommended me to listen to this guy. Most of you know Ed Milet, and don't know him personally, but you know of him, and you know that he's a very big social media guy. He interviews all kinds of people. Christopher told me about a guy he interviewed. I didn't even know this guy. His name's Kyle Cease. I highly recommend you listen to this particular interview. I've been listening to a lot of his stuff since listening to that interview. But Kyle Cease, C-E-A-S-E, Kyle, used to be a very, very well-known, very successful comedian, like improv. He had Comedy Central specials. I mean, this guy literally walked away from everything in the comedy thing to follow a dream. He says in his interview that it was my old story. We're caught up so much in our old story, like what I used to do or what I do now. Sometimes your old story fits you like a pair of old jeans from high school. I don't know about you, none of my jeans from high school fit me. Probably for most of you that would be the case as well. And he talks about his old story, but the choices that he made to move away from that and into an environment where he still gets to use comedy, but it's to help people improve their lives. He's really, really good. But one of the things that he talked about, and this came to mind when Joe talked about, I took my notes, when he talked about significance. Let me get back to my question here. Joe's question, I'll end on this piece. Significance question, does my dream benefit others? So if you watch Ed Milet's interview, I've never seen Ed Milet react to a guy like he reacts to Kyle Cease. Have you seen this? Have you seen this interview? It's crazy. He's like, oh, like, I've never seen Ed react like that. Anyway, so he talks about win-win-win. And he goes, expound on this win-win-win idea. And this to me is imploring you that you're in a vehicle that's win-win-win. What do you mean by that? So he had him expound on that, win. So is what I do, is it a win? Is it a win for me? And you could say me/family, because really, we all sacrifice for our families, but if I'm winning, that means my family's winning, right? So is what I'm doing a win for me? That's the first win. Is what I'm doing a win for others? Do others benefit? And then the final win, and I'm gonna give you two examples of this. The world as a whole. World as a whole. I'll just abbreviate that. Okay. So he used an example. So for example, if I'm selling soft drinks, if I'm a distributor or I'm selling soft drinks, and I successfully sell soft drinks, that's a win for me. I sold soft drinks, I have a profit margin, I made money. Win for me, right? Now, what about win for others? Are soft drinks generally looked at as, are these really going to help people to become more healthy, more vibrant? Yes or no? Now, diabetes, it's going to drive diabetes, it's going to drive their weight gain, it's generally not healthy. So just in that one little example he actually used in the interview, that doesn't win. As a bottler, okay, we've all heard of plastic waste in the ocean and all this stuff. So if I'm producing a product that is creating a situation in the world that is now creating plastic waste and waste in the water, that's not a win-win-win, right? There's many different things you can, right? You can look at the car industry and go, okay, if I'm selling cars, if I sell a car, it's a win, right? You could talk about these other two things as big maybes. But you look at WFG, you look at what you do here, what we represent here. Obviously, if you help a family save their money, how much is it costing them? How much is it costing them? Nothing. We don't charge for what we do, right? So that'd be the first win for them. But the win for me is I'm paid by the provider company to set up that account. So that's a win for me. Is it a win for other people? I just said it. They're not being charged for what we do, but we're putting them in vehicles that have the opportunity and the possibility of getting them where they are. Let's talk, okay, I'm wondering what Mark's gonna do with the whole world as a whole. How does this as a world as a whole? Here's the thing. If we're empowering people with financial education, the world as a whole, I think we would generally expect would be better. But here's the thing. Let's talk about Joe. When Joe said, hey, am I better off now than my parents? There's this big fear in our country as people live longer that we're a burden on our children, right? No parent goes, oh, I can't wait, hey, get that job, be successful at what you do because you're gonna be taking care of me when I'm old. Like, nobody in their right mind would tell their children that. And some parents do tell them, which is really sad, right? But the world is all. So if we're educating people about money, helping them become more financially independent, are they gonna be more of a drain or less of a drain on society? More or less? Are they have more peace of mind or less peace of mind if we're protecting them against market declines like we've seen this last week? More or less? Absolutely. If they've got money stashed away, long-term care in place, living benefits in place, guarantees in place, never outliving their income, is there more of a fear or less of a fear that my kids are going to have to take care of me? There's less of a fear there. Can you see how, just with what Kyle talked about, a win-win-win, how what you do here is a win-win-win, right? But you've got to be willing to do the hard things now. And the hard things now is opposite of what you've done. And some of you have been doing the same thing over and over and over again for years and years and years. I'm not saying you haven't paid your bills. I'm not suggesting that you're miserable or unhappy. Some of you are, but maybe you're not. But here's the deal. You're here for a reason. And if those things that you've done over and over again haven't allowed you to achieve the goals and dreams that you want for your family, why do you think continuing to do those is going to do that? It'll continue to do what? Pay your bills. It'll continue to let you go J-O-B, just over broke. It'll allow you to just keep paying your bills. I don't think we're here to do that. Joe talked about how much he loves to give to other people. So if you have this mentality, and some people do, I know I used to, and I was challenged by somebody with this mentality. Hey, I don't need to make all that money. I'm good. We're happy. I'm good. I'm paying my bills. I'm saving money. My 401k at American Airlines, I'm saving money. We're not dead. We're okay. This is when I had a job. And somebody looked at me. I can't remember if it was a pastor of mine or if it was Ed. It was probably, I think it was, I can't remember who it was. This was years ago. He goes, why are you so damn greedy? What? Wait a minute, greedy? What do you mean greedy? He goes, yeah, why are you so greedy? Because everything that's come out of your mouth, Mark, has all been about, I'm okay. But what about other people? If it's only about you, if it's only about taking care of you, an opportunity comes up like a building or a missionary or a cause or a way that you can bless somebody who's going through a challenge like we have now, but you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't help you because I'm good. I've got what I need. Well, how does that fit into this, right? We're not here for it just for us to be good. And I know it's natural human tendency. Hey, we got to take care of ourselves first. I get it. But as a human being, you've got to elevate beyond that. It's got to elevate beyond, I'm okay, we're okay, we got our stuff taken care of. Okay, good for you. What about other people? Does that make sense? And I want Team Chosen to be, that's what I want our spirit to be about, is what about other people? Because if it's just about you, then when you need a handout, do you want that response from somebody else? Hey, I'm good. Oh, doesn't feel too good to be on the receiving end of that, right? So here's why that guy asked me, why are you so greedy? And I went, wow, okay, I'm supposed to learn something here. He goes, Mark, if you've been given a vehicle, if you've been blessed with opportunity and been given a vehicle that will allow you to earn way more than you need, and you're not going to take advantage of it because it's hard, that's what I mean. You're greedy because it's just self-preservation. I don't want to get out of my comfort zone. It's not about other people, it's just about me. So he goes, that's why I think that's a greedy mentality. You've been blessed with an opportunity. Some people aren't blessed with an opportunity. They're paralyzed or they're mentally in a place where they only can earn a minimum wage job. You've been given an opportunity to do whatever you want to do. And you're greedy because you're not taking advantage of it, because it's all about you and you're okay staying where you're at. Well, I want to challenge you guys in the same way. You have that same vehicle. And I want you to know it is a win-win-win here. But you've got to be willing to do the hard things now, and life becomes easier, right? And again, go talk to a grandparent. Go talk to somebody who's worked in the system for years and years and years and years. And again, you're not going to always find that they're broke and destitute and miserable. I'm not going to suggest that. But here's a really easy question for you to challenge yourself on. If I'm like grandma and she's on a fixed income making X amount of dollars and she travels once every other year to South Dakota, do I want that life when I get to retirement? Hell no. No, I want to go do it. Okay, then you better be doing different things than grandma did when grandma was young, right? Because you're on the same path. You're following the same path. So I want to thank Mandy and Joe one more time today for the training. So of course, until we know more, we're going to stay on track with our trainings here. We will be super cognizant of everything that's going on in the world right now as it relates to what. So if there are things that higher up leadership are saying, hey, don't do this or don't do that, we'll follow. Super cognizant of everything that's going on in the world right now as it relates to what. So if there are things that higher up leadership are saying, hey, don't do this or don't do that, we'll follow. A lot of funds and a lot of support and a lot of resources that we now have, or the country has to battle this. So stay safe, be blessed. I don't know if there's anything else that we SMDs that we need to make an announcement on, but we will be back here on Tuesday. And again, we're trying to ramp this office up, and we'll keep you constantly in the loop on where we're at with the new office location. But really excited about that. Anything else, Q or Rachel?
I don't think so. Do you have anything?
No?
All right, yeah, good day. Great training.
All right, guys. Yeah, absolutely. So we have chairs. And hey, did we do assignments as far as like making sure we're taking out trash? I don't want Joe and Colette to come here and find that we've left trash for them to take out.
I don't think